Well, first thing I do is I get all wires out of the road. And then I take and I drop the new board, put a book in or something to protect this, dropping the board in so I can hook. I find it the easiest to hook all our front wires or switches are there, and anything extra that's in the front. I find these easier for me to hook them on to the terminals here than rather trying to fight against the case to get them on. That is my next step. This case does have a speaker up front here, and the first thing I did, I had to go on the old interweb, download the manual for this board along with all the drivers. I was just looking in the manual for the speaker connection here, and from what I'm seeing on the manual, I have to move this ground pin over one terminal. So now I'm in the process of trying to find my needle to lift this little pin out so I can slide this wire out and move it over one. So that is my next task. Then we can also go to our other wires here and hook them up. So we'll leave the speaker because I see it's after I pull up my diagram for the connections for these here, all these wires here. Panel support, that's what we're after. Okay, system power, 2-wire power LED. Bottom row, start with the bottom row, is our reset first. No connection on the single pin, and the ground is third tab over. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's our reset. So let's see which is our reset. Power, reset. That's our reset. That'll be my first one. And it says ground is that direction. So it tells me the identification is the writing goes to the top. Now this is where my eyes get. Now you'll see why I have to do this way. So this is the first pin. Okay, that's on. Next one it says is our HDD light with the positive as being pin number 1. So our HDD light, which is our HDD light. HDD. Okay. HDD light is the next one. Okay, and that leaves the 2 left over, so the top row. Our power button, ground is that direction. Power, wrong terminal. Power, make sure I got that on the right pins, and I should have one left over. Oops, wrong terminal. I better read these again. Which one am I after again? Power LED. I'm after this one here, power button. I see an issue here. Our issue is, do we have? Yes, we have. Oh, I got to do the same thing with our power LED one. We've got to move one of these wires over one notch. Will it fit this fit in here? That's the question. So that's the first test. Will that fit in there? Yes, it will. Okay, so I definitely have to move this green wire over one pin. So I've got to go find me a needle or something to lift this tab up so I can pull that wire out to move it over one notch. I'm going to try something here. I don't recommend you doing this. I use whatever I can find, and I think this might just do. So I'm going to push that forward so no tension is on there. See if we can't slide this, lift it up, pull it out, and we had success. Okay, we got that one moved over one. Click. Yep. Okay, so now the last one can go on here, hopefully, and get it right. And that's what I thought. How come you fit the first time? Where's my magnifying glass? Is that on there? I can't hardly tell. No, it's not. Well, it felt like it was on. Boy, it's no fun when you start losing your eyesight. I used to have no trouble at all with these things and seeing what's happening. And that's what I thought. Right here, hitting, so that it doesn't go all the way down. I think if we put enough pressure, and this is why I have the book underneath. Yeah, no, it's okay. We'll have to do a little trimming on this plug. Basically, cutting this section right here pretty much off. Wondering if I have somewhere an extra one. I'll look around and see if I haven't got a free one with only 2 terminals on it. You gotta think of where I put my collection. I've been downsizing, so I've been getting rid of a lot. It's a matter now, do I have or don't I? I'm gonna have to look around here. Well, I can't find the 2 pin there, so the next best thing, we'll just grab the old soldering gun here, and we're going to melt a little of the plastic off here, just enough that we can get by this last terminal. Okay, that narrowed it down. Let's try that again, and there we that's on. Okay, now we got to do the same thing with this. We got, what did I say? Move the ground over 1 terminal. That took care of the power switch. Now we need to take care of the, where did I put the razor blade now? Well, flashlight. Buried it in the flashlight. So now we gotta, that's why I moved the unit on this side here. I'm more under the light. And even as you've seen, I still have to get the flashlight. So we're at the ground terminal, which is a black wire. I'll twist that a notch so it makes it a little easier. Lift that forward. Your blade underneath. Oh, missed it again. Blade underneath. Pull wire out and move it over 1 notch. And there she clicked. Okay, that takes care of our speaker wire. And that goes missed by 1 onto that. So now that we have those connected, now we can go ahead and bolt the motherboard down to our chassis. So we'll take my book out. All pins look the same. 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. This is a short board, so what do we need to do for pins? That's the next step. We got to size up for our mounting pins. Okay, so that lines up, that lines up. Okay, this one we have to move this one. That one lines up, and that one lines up. So we need to put 1 in here, 1 in here, and 1 in here. So I'm going to get a pencil marker and mark which ones I need to put a, I don't know what you'll call these, but I call them a spacer mount. We need to put 3 of these in from what I'm seeing. We're going to have to mark which ones I need. Okay, we have that one. We have that one. We need this one here. 1. We need this one here. This one here. Yeah, how about that? This board actually got room for that. And 1 here. And we'll put a mark there for where distance in. Okay, now let's get our book here. We can lift this up. Turn this upside down and see what this is what I've got to install. So the next thing we take in our distance, make sure that we have the same that is the same distance. We have 2 here that we can hopefully move over. So let's begin. Oh, I just see another issue here. Oh, okay, this has no threads there. Okay, that marks up to that hole. Okay, and that marked that one there. Okay, markings there. Can I come up with there? I'm gonna have to do a little digging in my can. This is all from tearing computers apart. I used to once upon a time do a lot of computers. When I was in Edmonton, I lost count how many units I have built. And units that was given to me, and for every one I stripped, I'd save every screw, bolt, and mount needed. Oh, okay, it looks like this is what we're going to need, something like this. That's too fat. Or something like this. Those marks I made. We have this type as well. Maybe. Yeah. Fly away. Let's start with this. Oh, cover is on. They're on. Get at that. It'd have to come from the back side. Well, we can't do that either. So I'll turn this around to take that panel off. Are these the same height? Yes, they are. That may just be our solution. Okay. We gotta take this other cover off. Look here. We're after the important ones here. Try to find where my finger is. Okay, one over. Marking that hole there. Okay, that doesn't want to snap in. Okay. They are starting to make this more universal. Let's go back to this one, see what we have to do to modify it. We could do that too. Just size this one up here. We should be able to pop that in there. Okay, that adds up. That'll work. We definitely want these two here. Okay. If I can find 1, 2, need 3 more of those. If I can find 3 more of those. Well, I could take and I could cut that one. And there's another one. And there's one. There's another one. One in this corner. One there, no. We need one there and one there. Okay, do you have 2 more? 3 of those. We have that style. Find 2 more of what I just had there. Now here. Oh, okay, use that somewhere else. Could be the one I really lost once upon a time and been looking for and found it and just threw it in the can. What do we have here? This looks like one that could work. I'm going to try that one in here. See if that'll fit into this groove and snap in. So close. So close. Well, we can't use this. All I'd have to do is snip that off. Is this the same height? It's hard to tell. Let's put it beside one of these brass ones. Oh no, it's way lower. So that is not an option, that one. Okay, no, that's not an option. For one of these, we need what, 2? Okay, the markings are I was to. Okay, that will work there. And which one was that? That was, you got one for there, one for that one. That was this one here. Pop that in there. And I think I said one more. Yeah, it's lining up. That over there, yeah, this corner one here. One here. One more in there. Okay, well, that takes care of that problem. Okay, let's get this board bolted down. Line this up. Oh, come on. Lined up on me perfectly the first time. Now why don't you want to line up now? That's better. Okay. Oh, yes. That takes care of the problem, alright? Okay. First screw we'll put in right there. Oh, yeah, right. This is where I have fun because of the spring tension on this, pushing the board that way to get them started. And I generally just start them before tightening them down to make sure it all lines up. And one more. Uh-oh, I think I forgot something. Yes, I did forget something. Okay, no, it's not a problem. I just see now that I did forget something. And what I forgot is the base plate for our CPU cooler. I'm so used to most coolers where you just have pins that you just push down and in, or else it's pre-mounted on the board where you just screw on. So, whoops. Let's get our cooler package out that was ordered for this and get our little mounting plate on. So my question now is this the right mounting plate? We'll soon find out. It doesn't look right to me. But that's what I figured. That is not the right plate for this unit. That didn't look right. Okay. Now, wait a minute. I think I seen that plate yesterday downstairs on the workbench downstairs yesterday. Or is this the clip? This one definitely is not it. Maybe it was this one. That's a hole there. No, it is not that one. Okay, so that means it is definitely the one I saw downstairs. I have to take a trip in the house and look for that plate. Okay, found the original plate and the original fan. I thought I'd open the CPU box up and see they supplied a new fan here. So I don't really need that extra one. Okay, so we need to get this plate goes in from underneath. Now, okay, there. Yeah, that's now to get this back in here, keeping that in position. Got it. I magnetized the screwdriver and makes it a little easier. I'll give you folks a little demonstration how to magnetize and demagnetize a screwdriver if you need one there. To magnetize, simply grab any magnet. We have a magnet on this flashlight. All you need to do, slide it along here. I generally slide it 3 times. Now it's fully magnetized. The theory is dragging the north poles and the south poles all into a pattern so it becomes a magnet. So you have a north pole and a south pole. When I'm finished here, I'll show you how to demagnetize the screwdriver. As you can see, fully magnetized. Especially when you're dealing with where you can't get your fingers in. Okay, now we can tighten them down. Crisscross pattern. Never working. I tend to always, one First thing I was taught, always hold one hand on the case. That way you eliminate any static electricity. Okay, so now we have our board put in. It's time to put this CPU in place. So lift that clip up, grab the CPU. This is the old style AMD that has pins. So you want to be extremely cautious of these pins. Look for where your little arrow is, which is right there. Verify which way it goes, because you want to go straight down. First thing I gotta do is determine that arrow means it's the number 1 pin. We do have a little bit of a pattern here. I can see there is a little bit of a pattern to this socket. We're going to verify that. Quickly look at what it shows in the manual I downloaded earlier on. There should be pictures in this, however. Line pin number 1 indicates. This doesn't help very much. Pin number 1 shows the base there, but that doesn't help me. Manual probably better. Again, I like the way they put this instruction. If you can read that writing, your eyesight's good. But if you're like me, it's just nothing but black lines. That's why I need a magnifying glass to read it. This is exactly what I'm talking about when I say they think the older we get, the better our eyesights get, and expect us to read that. Right. Forget it. Can't. Just about impossible to read. I basically have to look for more pictures. Okay, so what we're looking for is the CPU socket on the motherboard. I found a very useful one, just about describes every motherboard going. Where is the new? There's our chapter. There's our chapter. Manual doesn't tell me. Manual does not show me that pattern. So we're going to have to try to figure this out. Let's get my flashlight so I can see better. Okay, we gotta try to remember the pattern. L that corner. We got an angle, 45 angle that corner. We got 45 angle on that corner, and a 45 angle of that corner. So one corner has a square. Let's look at the bottom of that. Angle, 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 and square. Okay, that's the square, and that tells me that's where our number 1 pin is. So once again, you want to be perfectly straight down. So we're going to get in and very, very gently lower it into position. There we are. You can bend these pins so easy, and that's what happened with my son. He bent the old pins. That's why we had to get a new one. I spent quite a few hours trying to straighten them pins for him, but they're so much finer in our newer ones today over the old ones of yesterday here that was just impossible to straighten them pins. Okay, which bank was it? 2 of the RAM, black one, or was it the gray one? That we gotta look up again. Doesn't show. Okay, let's say on the board which is 0 and which is 1. Holy crap, how tight is this packed? Ah, same thing. Impossible to read. Okay, so I'm gonna assume closest to the processor will be 0, 1. I'll just figure it needs this out. We're going to use the black terminals. 1. That's 2. Clicked in place. Now, well, I did need it after all, so it wasn't a waste of money for getting another tube of paste. My goodness, same thing. Just out of curiosity, when I opened this up, you can read that all right. So, with the size of the paper, I was curious. Well, how small is the writing? Yep, right. Once again, and we're ready to put the fan on. Same thing again. I apply which way can I put it so that it takes up the majority of the excess of the wire here for the CPU plug. So now we got to find out, where does our CPU plug in? Well, I got carried away there watching Derek there on that duster, and I've been doing other things, so we're getting back to this. the camera shut off on me just when I was in the process of showing how I got. So it's all mounted in there now. That's ready. What I'm doing here now is removing what I don't need. I got a different size drive for, I'm going to put these screws on the desk before I lose them, or on here, and we won't need this IDE cable anymore. That drawing is there, same with the floppy drive, but I'm just going to leave the units in there. The only thing I got to get out is this present drive to mount a larger drive in it. We are right here. Now, this is only a 500 gig drive, and that's why I went with a bigger one with her, because I've seen her how she operates on the telephone. And one time when she was showing me her email, how full it is, she doesn't delete what she does. So this is why I decided to get a bigger drive for her. So we're going to updating that 500 gig to 200 terabyte, and I'm going to use that old drive in my XP unit and redo it, because that drive is beginning to fail on me. Freezing quite a bit now. Where did I put the new one? Right here. Well, I did while I was off camera. I took all these drives and formatted them, or preset them for partition tables, and formatted on my unit. So this is all ready to go and saved me a lot of headaches. When I come to reprogramming my server, I tried to get it off of the jump drive. I was looking for my Windows 7 disk, and I could not find it, so I thought I'd give it a try. Well, first time it said I need to enable UEFI. So I went in the BIOS, and everything I saw, not understanding everything from past to present, everything that read UDFI or UEFI, I set it to go to that pig, so it boot. Went to reboot it, and now I can't even get back into the BIOS to change the setting, because obviously one was incorrect. So I have to go put in plan B, and now I read the directions for clearing the CMOS to start over, and it didn't want to clear on me. So hopefully my old method that will kick in. And what it basically was, I removed the battery, put the jumper leads over onto the clear CMOS, and leave it overnight, hoping to completely drain the CMOS and bringing it back to its glory. If that fails, I have to turn to my kids then to see what I could do. Okay, hard drive is mounted. Now to put it back in the unit. And which way was this? This was that way, and we'll put it that way. It was. That's the way it was. Yeah, that's the way it was. Okay. Put this back in the... This is always fun to find where the holes are for mounting holes. My finger's there, too far. This is ridiculous. Yeah, there's one. Once you get one lined up, pretty well get the rest. Now, I'm using the gun on this case here, because the screws are so tiny. Let's get my magnetized screwdriver and get this started. One, no, where'd that other screw go to? Should be right there. Appears to be right there. Okay. As far forward as possible. You can tighten this side down. Okay, let's get back on the belly here, or on the side, I should say. Oh, mercy. Oh, I can't remember which was which. That isn't sitting in there right, so we'll correct that while we're at it. This is an old style, so for the front speaker microphone jacks, it was still back in the days where they had the old bed that you just clipped it into the audio for the transfer. I like the new setup much better with the jumper pins on the board, but when you have a case that doesn't have that feature, we have to stick with what the case is designed for. So this is not sitting in its spot run right, so we'll get it to fit in there properly. And I see another tab here that is the same thing. Actually, both these tabs are incorrect. Now, she has a monitor that's HDMI supported, and I do believe this motherboard, yes it does. So we don't need a video card in this anymore. So we'll find one more tab here, plug this hold off because we won't be using that. And that's downstairs, so I'm not going to bother there because, okay, we have two USB cables. This is our front, for our front jack. So one of these will be there. Now I got to find out which is number one, and I need to look at that manual that I downloaded earlier on to find that answer. Great. Could have swore I saw it saved the file. Did it by mistake put it where I didn't want it? Yes, it did. I sure don't like this new Adobe Reader compared to the old 7 edition. 7 was so simple and easy. You could find your pages easy. Not anymore. Another item where they cannot keep it simple. Take away the simple. Cannot for the life of me understand why they have to make everything these days as hard as they possibly can. Nothing anymore is simple like it used to be. Nothing. Where's the stress level? Instead of decreasing, it increases. Well, that's too far. No, entering the bias. All I want is to know where number 1 pin is. And you think it's that simple? Not anymore. You gotta hunt for it. Oh, great. They don't even give you a picture anymore? Oh, come on, get real. What the hell is M.2 socket 3, M2 underscore 1, M2.2 underscore 2? These sockets will allow you to install M.2 NGFF SSD module. Again, all Greek. It just tells you the connection and there, but it doesn't give a damn diagram which is number 1. They used to always, every manual and every unit I built used to give that information. Not anymore, so we're going to take a wild guess at it. Gives us no choice. Either we're right or we're wrong. We're going to look at this. Generally speaking, let's put it the same way, and most of them where the writing is being to the top. We're going to take that chance and we're going to do the same. Oh, wait a minute. This might be beneficial. This might be beneficial because one of these has one more extra pin on it over the other one. Well, that's a good help because one row has nothing, whereas the other row has 4. Start with the 4 first and the 5 next. Now, how many USB ports have we got in the back here? We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know what I can put in this slot. Aha! I can give her more USB jacks because I have another cable that'll give her that. 4 more USB ports. Okay. That's an idea. Now, where did I put it? Gotta think for a minute. Anyway, let's get some of these other stuff. Start getting things connected here. Okay, now we'll get my wiring laid out. I'm going to lay this out as neat as possible. Okay, we'll need that cable. This wiring can be stored away in here. We need that. Put you there. Put you there. And we'll start with our main power supply for the board. What I do is I generally hook this up, and then as I'm setting everything into place to make it neat, because they always supply more cable than what's needed, I'll use zap straps, or as you call them now, tie-down straps, and connect them. So, did I miss here? Yeah, I did miss. Now, what's going on here? Oh, I see. You popped out of place. Stay in there. Okay. Well, that's awful on the tight side. That's supposed to fit in there like that. Clip is on this side. Clip is on that side. Well, why don't you go in? I need light so I can see here as to what is going on here. That's a much better. Give a little light on the subject and I can get it. Okay, now we can shape that to the way I want it. Okay, now what we got here? We got, okay, that's SATA power, and that says VGA. We won't be using that. We're just going to tuck that back in here. I'll stay there. And okay, so we just need the one here. Come, and we need one for our drive here. Which way is that L? That in there. So that in there tells me that you've got to go on there. Tuck the rest there. Boy, all that excess wire. Okay. Now, what's this? CPU? CPU. Okay, where do these CPU connections go? Well, must be for, oh, right here, I think. Better confirm. CPU, motherboard, that's all over the place. Again, number one, picture larger so I can see what it says. That's what it is. Do not forget to connect the 8-pin EATX. EATX, that's where they go, confirmed. Okay, I see a clip there, so we have special way they go on. That's one, and that's two. Okay, more wire than needed. Again, we took you there again. Okay, enough there. We'll put you underneath here. Strap you all down. So, put a little fold in you so you stay where I want. Tuck you in there and take what we need. Far more than what we need here. Okay, where's our SATA jack? Right here. Okay, which one is number one? Flashlight gives a better light. Okay, let's have a look at that pattern. See which direction. See, number one is this one here. So that's what we want to know. And I want this one on that one. Okay. Now same with this. I think I have a nice short one. See if we can find a nice short one. I do believe I have a short one. Measure this one out. Yeah, this one's already shorter. Let's get the shortest one I got here. And we're going to change it with a shorter one. That's better. Much better. Well, now, help me understand how things can disappear. I just put a pile of zap straps on my table and went for them now, and not one of them can be seen or thumbed. But there we have it. There is Mama's unit ready to go. All we need to do is program it. Because I'm in the shop now, and I don't have an well, yes, I do have an HDMI monitor. I forgot about that one right behind me. Well, let's get this. Thought I heard something there when I lifted that. Oh yeah, I did. Okay, that's what I heard. So we can put this side to cover back on. Oh, yes I did. Oh, right. This side cover first. Obviously that ain't the hole. Gotta be this one. Before I forget, now I remember what these two screws were for. Bolt the hard drive down on this side, which we better do before I forget. As you see, it takes a little longer than one thinks. More than just taking the board out of the box and slapping it in your unit, and you have a unit. There we go. I'll be happy to find my zap ties, and we're gonna strap this all together so it's not bouncing around and it looks neat. As neat as you can get it, that is. So much of this now with all this excess wire that goes in here, it's hard to keep it neat. One has to work at it. Another unit ready to program. Okay. That should make Mama happy. Okay. Well, when tomorrow comes, I'll get zap straps, tidy this all up, we'll get that programmed. Hopefully my CMOS in my server will clear up, that I cannot get that one as programmed as well. My third son is supposed to be down here this weekend to assist me on all this. So I'm trying to get the majority of the build put together so that all that's left for him is the programming. I'm going to hang on to this motherboard for a while yet. It's out of the one I took apart now for my server because it's almost the same style. I'm going to check that out later. So we're going to put this along with these cables to go with this board. The reason I'm going to hang on to this board because it's the last board that assists both a floppy drive and IDE port. So I'm going to check that board out, maybe get 2 more sticks of RAM for it, and increase. We do have two spare fans came out of there. I'm going to see at the same time put 2 more chassis fans in that. I was hoping to put this one in, but it's too big. It's more this side than that, so we'll worry about that tomorrow or down the road. We'll put them here for now. Now we can do a little cleanup here. This is the fan for my board, my new system. Everything here. RAM came for a server today. Discovered there was RAM for a laptop. The boo-boo in the number, not knowing the full details. I just took the number of the ones that were in it and went by it. And my son, when he come over and ordered all this stuff for me, said, "Oh, I got the wrong ones. I got for a laptop." Well, they should be here any day. I hope they're not. Sure enough, he was right. They were. We've got new ones coming there. I'll have to send these back, get a refund on them. Stick that right there so it's in front of my eye. That goes back in my pocket. Said this goes in my XP unit. It'll be in the new drive for my XP unit. Okay, well, I'm going to call that one another one done. I treasure this magnifying glass. This magnifying glass was my mom's. It's over 100 years old, so I keep it hidden. Anyhow, thanks for watching.